Hey, good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Wanted to, now that, hey, it's the weekend and I can kind of think straight about, certain, uh, think about the CPI data that's coming up next Thursday. I want to just do a quick video of what's been going on in my head. And I got to tell you, I got a really bad feeling about what may transpire uh, this Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. So I was looking back at the transcript of Powell's conference earlier this week and trying to, draw some, I guess, hints that he may have been dropping. All right, throughout the press conference and just kind of looking at data as well. So follow me along here. One of his quotes in his speech was, "We think there's some ground to cover, but before we may meet that test, and that's why we say that ongoing rate increases will be appropriate." And as I mentioned, incoming data between the meetings, both a strong labor market, but particularly the CPI report. I thought they're supposed to look at PCE report, number one. Okay. Do suggest to me that we may ultimately move to higher levels. Okay. So that was one of his quotes. All right. So I was like, what's he trying to say here? Right. Obviously, they're looking at the reports. Obviously, they're data dependent, but it's like he almost knows the November CPI report already. Listen, there's no sense. None. Okay. He's not getting that based on any pattern. Okay. It's coming down. It just, if you look at little stutter here, huh? I have a table of the last 12 months of 12-month readings, and there's really no pattern there. Wait a minute. You have the last 12 months. Are you saying, Jay Powell, that you have October CPI report that's going to be published this coming week? We're exactly where we were a year ago. So, okay, I would also say it's premature. Okay, so he paused here. Okay. It's like he didn't want to say this next sentence, in my opinion. I would also say it's premature to discuss pausing, and it's not something that we're thinking about. That's really not a conversation to be had now. We have ways to go. And the last thing I'll say, all right, making a point, and this is like his, you know, stop asking me like these darn questions, is that I would want people to understand our commitment to getting this done and to not making the mistake of not doing enough. He's talking about the 1970s or the mistake of withdrawing our strong policy and doing that too soon. So those I control the message, and that's my job. And I think he ends the speech pretty much there. All right, follow me along. I'm looking at the core. This is the consumer CPI year over year data. Okay. What started triggering, some of the bear market, right? We know that the bear market really started in December, closer to January, chart speaking wise. But if you look at the last summer, we had an inflation rate, year over year, 5%. Okay. So that's important. And then finally in November, all right, we started jumping into 6%. In January, we started jumping into 7%. Follow along here. In the last 6 months, 7 months, we've been hanging out in the 8% area year over year. This back in November is what triggered, okay, from just like a numbers perspective. Even though with all the 4 consecutive rate hikes now, all right, at 75 basis points, we have not seen much of a decline. That's due to labor market, wage growth, energy, okay? These 75 basis points aren't helping, okay? So what am I expecting for November? If what Powell said, right, back here, 12 months of readings and there's really no pattern, that suggests to me that we're probably still, the core CPI is still in 6%, or we may even start seeing 7% coming up on Thursday. Now, okay, sorry, so the CPI, I'm sorry. All right, so that was the core. All right. Now back to the actual CPI. All right, 5%. 7%, 8%. We touched 9%, even amongst rate hikes. So what am I actually predicting here or forecasting? Based on historical data, this is going to 9%. I think we see closer to like 8.7 to 8.9 on Thursday. You look at this historical two-year line chart, okay? When things started really picking up early last year, we mellowed out here. For the next leg up, exactly in November 2021, we started doing a leg up. Mellowed out, another leg up, mellowed out. I think it's conceivable that we're going to see 10% in January or even February of next year. Okay. Look at the core CPI. I'll do the line chart once again here. Even with the rate hikes, it's not helping. All right. We saw a leg up here, cooled off until November. Boom. Cooled off, and we're headed into November. 6.6 next last month reading. Okay. Look at November of last year. We started hitting the 5%. We quickly jumped into 6% year over year. There's no sense that inflation is coming down. It just, if you look at the okay, stuttering, I have a table of the last 12 months. I think he's confessing here, guys. And that's why partly the market did move down on Thursday. I'm sorry, on Wednesday. All right, so that's just my gut feeling. Once again, to sum up this video, I think you're going to see closer on the core, okay, closer to 9% again. I think on the CPI, okay, the core here, sorry, this is the core. You're going to see closer to 7%. And on CPI, year over year, you're going to see closer to 9%.